Hola mis amigos, bienvenidos a el podcast. It's been a hot minute. It's been like 3-4 weeks, I don't know. I'm kind of just a bum lazy chud and I didn't really want to make podcasts. It's I forget the word. Not intense. I don't know, stressful. Not stressful, but like taxing to make podcasts. It's very hard. I have to think of so many things. And today, I didn't really want to feel like thinking of things. So, I have a little note card here. On the back of it is stuff for biology that we were supposed to write down for a quiz or whatever. But on the back, I got 5 random Wikipedia articles. I didn't really look at them that much. I just kind of read like the title and like the first sentence, like the overview. And basically, I can get a little stand here. Yeah, that's a pretty bad angle. And also it's like incredibly, there's gotta be, oh, hold on. There we go. Okay, I've got a phone stand here, and you also get a little view of people riding by on this road here. I'm in a tree, of course. It's another tree cast. I love the tree casts. Things. I didn't really read them. I just kind of looked at the first sentence. I'm just gonna lie. It's just gonna be bullshit. This is all false information. Okay, first up, we got humbaba. Humbaba. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Humbaba. That's the first one. Don't look at the other ones. That's a spoiler. Humbaba. I've said it like 5 times. Oh my. Humbaba. It just sounds like that's not real. I really don't believe that that's its real name. It said it's a crater on one of the moons of Jupiter. What? First of all, doesn't Jupiter have like 100,000 billion moons? It has like way too many moons. Like that's just like an asteroid field at that point. Be real. Just call it like Saturn's ring. Like, are those all moons? No. Humbaba. It's a crater. It's one specific crater on one of those like hundreds of moons. So that's a lot of fun that we just have a whole Wikipedia article dedicated to this one crater, and it's named Humbaba. It's probably, the reason it's called Humbaba is probably because it's from like a different language or something. I don't know, maybe it was discovered by whatever language Humbaba is from. I don't really believe that. Humbaba. I have no idea how to say it. I'm probably saying it wrong, and I'm probably racist. Anyway, Humbaba. Craters are usually formed by asteroids. My personal theory on Humbaba is that the asteroid that made it is actually the asteroid. So, long story short, the dinosaurs, they got wiped out by an asteroid, as you well know. As you well know. But, fun fact about that, it's actually lies. It was a missile sent from the planet Jupiter. The Jupiterians, that's what we're going to call them. Oh, there's a bug on the street. Anyway, the Jupiterians sent a missile because the dinosaurs were actually a highly advanced society. And, all the, like the pyramids, the 7 wonders of the world, all of those, they're lies. They were built by the dinosaurs. The Jupiterians, I'm just going to rearrange myself in this tree. The Jupiterians were, the Jupiterians felt threatened by the dinosaurs. They were a higher intellect than them. So, you know what they did? Obviously, they launched a giant space missile at them. And so that space missile killed all the dinosaurs. But the dinosaurs knew about it beforehand. So they preemptively, like right before being destroyed, launched another missile towards Jupiter. But because of all the moons aren't actually moons. They're Jupiterian defense bases. They're defenses. They're like shields. And so they automatically gravitate any missiles that come near Jupiter. So the moons protected the Jupiterians from the dinosaurs' revenge missile. And so it's actually called humbaba because that's the dinosaurian word for revenge, obviously. So, long story short, I don't know. I wasn't really going anywhere with that. Anyway, I think we're done with that one now. Our second one, Dog Island, which what I read about, it's an island off the coast of Florida, in Florida. I hate this stupid branch right here. It's like hugging my butt. Anyways, Dog Island. So I always forget his name. You know, the one guy who made Fantastic Mr. Fox him. He's got one of those movies called, it's called Isle of Lost Dogs, and it's in Japan. But the Isle of Lost Dogs is actually a ripoff. Fun fact, it's based on a true story, but the true story is actually Dog Island in Florida. And basically, in Florida, it used to be a swamp. Well, it still is a swamp, but it used to be a lot more swamp, and then they built, Disney World and shit. But the Dog Island, that swamp, it was actually the Dwamp, which is short for Dog Swamp. It was run by a race of highly intelligent canines. They were dog people. That's actually little fun fact about that also. It's what furries are based off of. Furries, they originally came to be from, they are essentially imitating the highly intelligent species of dogs from the originally Dwamp. Now they live on Dog Island. And they're just like big fans of that, They're the ones, the furries are a secret council. They have a secret council. They are spreading the agenda of this highly intelligent race of dogs on Dog Island. But anyway, when they wanted to build Disney World and everything else in Florida, they were like, frick, there's a bunch of dogs here. So obviously, they launched an all-out war on the dogs. And the dogs, being a highly intelligent race of dogs, had all this stuff, all this blah, blah, blah. And so dog fighting, like the thing in World War II and stuff, where they would shoot each other in planes, that actually originates, it's called dog fighting because it was in the dog war of Florida. And humans eventually won. I think the dogs were really what happened was it was too taxing on, it was, expensive to, fight a war. And, Dog Island, they're a highly intelligent race of canines. They're using, nuclear solar radiation power, which is a lot more expensive, even though it's better. But it's a lot more expensive, so they were like, we should just give it up. We can just move to Dog Island, which obviously wasn't named Dog Island at that time because the dogs were not yet on it. But they did move to it, and so now they live there, and they run the secret council leading all of the furries who push their agenda. Cool story. Next up, I've got, oh my god, Delias caneus. I'm pretty sure it's a species of butterfly. Delias caneus. Now then, if you look at this, you'd see caneus. It actually sounds pretty similar to canine. We're looping back. Delias caneus aren't real butterflies. They are actually a small series of drones created by the dogs of Dog Island to surveil survey. They do surveillance. They're surveillance drones. They have cameras in them, and they watch the people. And Dog Island, I'm lost. Dog Island made Delius Canis, and so that's why it's called Delius Canis. The government, the Latins, science. Scientists are actually in league with the dog people of Dog Island. And so Delius Canis was, first of all, made by scientists, but that's why it's called, because, scientists name everything. So they named it in Latin Delius Canis because it is owned by the dogs. And so basically the dogs, so being on Dog Island, they want to survey the world to know when is the right time to launch an attack on humankind. So one day, the dogs and their furry, I don't know the word, soldiers, whatever, will launch an attack on humanity. They're already infiltrating from the inside with the furries. And then they've got surveillance through Delius Canis, and the Delius Canis, they surveil us. But the scientists are in league with dogs, but they're giving hints. The scientists are giving hints to know the truth about Delius Canis, that they are surveillance drones. So basically, if you identify Delius Canis in the world, kill it immediately, because they're dog robots, dog drones, trying to surveil us from They're government dog drones. Dogverment drones. Surveilling us to know when is the right time to strike. So you should destroy them whenever you have the opportunity, is what I'm saying, pretty much. So, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. The dog government is actually much deeper than you think, because they... The dinosaurs. Dog, look at this. Dog, dinosaur. They both start with D. You know why? They're the Jupiterians. It's all coming together. The Jupiterians missile that wiped out the dinosaurs. It was a rocket ship, and it carried the highly intelligent race of dog people on it. They're different from actual dogs. They just blended in by looking like dogs, even though they're still like humanoid, whatever. And so basically, they are Jupiterian. They are Jupiterian creation. Jupiter is coming for us. Jupiter wants Earth because of its natural abundance of stuff. Because Jupiter is like a gas giant, So the Jupiterians just kind of float around in the gas, and they don't really have any material goods. That's why they want Earth. That's why they wiped out the dinosaurs and sent in the dog race to destroy us. So make sure to watch out for the Delius Canis, is what I'm saying. Okay, next up we've got St. Jude's Church, Hartwith, which is a church in England. This one is not related to the highly intelligent race of dogs and the Jupiterian dinosaur war that happened before humans were created. This one's just kind of, it's St. Jude's Church, Hartwith. So, Hartwith was actually named Hartwith because when it was founded, the guy, he wasn't the original St. Jude, because St. Jude is probably like a guy from the Bible or whatever, but he was named Jude like after St. Jude, you know? So Jude came into Hartwith, and, well, it wasn't Hartwith yet. He came into Hartwith in England, and he said, he, you know, claimed this land as his own. He said, "This is my land." But there are, you know, plenty of rivaling, there's a lot of stuff in England. So there was a rivaling, you know, village or whatever who, like, wanted some of the land. And he's like, "No, I won't even let you have." So, you know, Jude was like a warrior. He was like a really proud guy, proud of his territory. He was, "I won't even let you have a heart width," as in the width of a human heart. He was a very physical guy, a very spiritual, physical. He believed in a physical, spiritual connection. He believed that your heart was the window, well, not the window, but it's the base of your human body. You know, it controls everything. It pumps blood throughout you. He believes that the heart also pumps your spiritual energy throughout the world into the heavens. Jude Hartwith, who founded Hartwith. It's also his last name. That's just kind of a coincidence that I didn't really mention earlier. But, you know, Jude Hartwith, he did that. He said, "I won't even let you have a Hartwith." And so he waged war on the opposing places. And he was a brutal guy. He physically ripped out everyone's hearts. Like, not everyone, but like the leaders, as like a sign of aura and whatnot. And so he said, "Oh, I have your heart. This is how wide it is. This is how wide it is. This is..." This is how wide it is. This is how wide it is. This is how wide it. This is how wide it is. And so he said, "I can't move on. I can't. What comes next?" He he took their hearts and he declared that their width would be all of his combined enemies' width. He had like a bunch of enemies. That's how wide his church would be. He laid them out as like foundation. And so that's the reason why St. Jude's church, different St. Jude, Jude is just named after the original St. Jude, basically, that he declared that's how wide that church would be. And so I'm actually not sure how big the church is, but I mean, any building is probably like a lot of hearts long. So that's like, you know, a testament to how brutal Jude Hartwith was as a guy, basically. We're on our last category, the last Wikipedia article. It's Uno Rush. Uno, like the card game Rush, which apparently is a game for the Xbox 360. You have Uno. I have the oldest Xbox known to man. I don't have fucking Uno, basically. But it's Uno Rush. Holy shit. So you know how Shadow said he doesn't have Uno? Shadow the Hedgehog from Sonic. He doesn't have Uno. You know why? Because on his Chaos 360, Chaos Box, whatever, I forgot it was called. I have the oldest Xbox known to man. He has Uno Rush. Uno Rush. Because he's fast. He's fast, so he has Uno Rush. And you know, so Sonic was kind of a dumbass. He didn't ask if, he didn't specify which kind of Uno. He was, you know, Sonic was just talking base game, regular Uno. Shadow is just 10 steps ahead. He's running while Shadow's walking. Uno Rush. He's in a rush. I feel like that one's pretty short. I don't really have much more to elaborate on, but we're at a solid 20 minutes now. Shouts out Wikipedia for giving me all of these articles, these stupid articles, to do my podcast about. And title screen.